Hello, everyone. My name is Kyra Boyd, and I am the Winston-Salem Police Department Public Information Officer. And I would like to welcome you all to our press conference tonight. And I want to thank you all for coming out this evening. I know it's kind of late, but as you all know, we will be giving you all updates of today's events. Tonight, you will be hearing from Winston-Salem Police Chief Katrina Thompson and Forsyth County Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough. First, you will be hearing from Chief Thompson.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd. Thank you all for being here. Again, I'm Police Chief Katrina Thompson. At 3:34 p.m., gunfire erupted outside of the District 1 police substation located at 7836 North Point Boulevard. Investigators would later determine that more than a dozen shots were fired into the substation from a large caliber semi-automatic rifle. At the time of the crime occurred, more than 50 Winston-Salem police employees were inside the building as shift change was imminent. Officers outside of the substation observed the driver of the suspect vehicle firing into the police substation and immediately pursued the vehicle from the scene. The police pursuit covered approximately 4 miles and eventually terminated in front of Reynolds High School gymnasium. At that point, the suspect exited the vehicle and fired a large volley of shots from the semi-automatic rifle at Winston-Salem police officers who were pursuing him. The subject then dropped the rifle and fled into the area of Haynes Park, with the officers pursuing him on foot. During the foot pursuit through the park, the suspect fired multiple shots at the pursuing officers from a handgun. The officers returned fire at the suspect, and the suspect was struck. The injured suspect was later taken into custody, and emergency medical services personnel summons to the scene. It should be noted that officers with the Winston-Salem Police Department rendered aid prior to emergency medical services arriving on the scene. The suspect was transported to the local hospital where he is in stable condition. The suspect was identified as 26-year-old William Coleman Scott. Mr. Scott is in police custody for attempted murder of law enforcement officer. Because of the brazen attack on the police substation, officers begin the process of identifying places of residence for Mr. Scott so that the evidence of the crime under investigation could be sought. Officers were also concerned that the extremely violent nature of the attack on officers by William Scott might indicate that relatives of or associates of Mr. William Scott may be in danger. Winston-Salem police personnel joined efforts with our partners, deputies from the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, and traveled to a residence located at 1708 Cragmore Road in Clemens, North Carolina. This home was believed to be the residence of Mr. William Scott's parents. Information was subsequently developed to warrant making entry into the home, and law enforcement personnel discovered the body of William Scott's mother inside the residence. The investigation into that death is being conducted by detectives with the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, and that death is being investigated as a homicide. Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough, Jr. will provide additional details of that investigation in just a few moments. Officers with the Winston-Salem Police Department also traveled to a residence located at 224 Tabor View Lane in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The residence was said to be the home of William Scott's 84-year-old grandmother, Glenda Snow Corrier. The body of Miss Corrier was located inside the home. Detectives with the Winston-Salem Police Department are conducting the investigation into the death of Ms. Corriher, and that death is also being investigated as a homicide. At this time, I will ask Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough to share information related to the investigation underway by his personnel. Sheriff Kimbrough.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you all for being here. It's another sad day in Winston-Salem and Forsyth County. My condolences goes out to the family. But I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the men and women of the police department, the sheriff department, who pursued that man selflessly and fearlessly. I applaud all of you for what you did. As Chief Thompson said, at about 5:30 this evening on Cragmore, Winston-Salem Police Department, Sheriff Department made entry into a residence there, and they found a female who had suffered a gunshot wound. Currently, that investigation is still being conducted as we speak. Family members have not been yet notified. They're traveling from the West Coast as we speak. And so because of that, I'm sure you've probably deduced the address and the name, but out of respect for them, they asked me not to speak the name, and so I won't say her name because her sons have not been notified as of yet. As a matter of fact, they should be landing in Charlotte about now. But I've given you what we know. It is an active investigation being conducted in the Waterford subdivision out there. That's basically what we have here.
Before I entertain any questions, I want to just reiterate the fact that the police officers tonight exhibited what law enforcement, police, and public safety is all about. They did their jobs with compassion and dignity, literally while under fire. It is not lost on me at all that even seconds after taking fire, those officers immediately started to render aid. I am extremely grateful for their efforts and for the sacrifices that them and their families make every day. And that's Winston-Salem Police Department, Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, who was in the chases with us, and I hope that you too are proud and grateful of them.